Hey, good morning, River Oak. My name is Caleb. I'm one of the pastors here on staff. And this morning I get to lead you in Psalms chapter 4, where we get to see David kind of change a little bit of his tone as he is praying to the Lord, but then also like encouraging the people who have done him wrong to do right, and kind of affirming in the midst of all the chaos and all the stuff going on, just what God brings to his life. Here, I'll read it for you. He says, "Answer me when I call, God, who vindicates me. You freed me from my affliction. Be gracious to me and hear my prayer. How long, exalted ones, will my honor be insulted? How long will you love what is worthless and pursue a lie? Selah. Know that the Lord has set apart the faithful for himself. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Be angry and do not sin on your bed. Reflect in your heart and be still. Offer sacrifices in righteousness and trust in the Lord. Many are asking, who can show us anything good? Let the light of your face shine on us, Lord. When you have put more joy in my heart than they have when their grain and new wine abound. I will both lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, Lord, make me live in safety." I love the first part, verse 1, where he says, you freed me from my afflictions. Be gracious to me and hear my prayer. I think sometimes we approach prayer as like this right we have, and that God needs to listen and has to listen. And obviously, like, I believe that's true, just not because we've deserved or have done anything, but rather because God said he would listen, and God never lies. But I love David still approaches God with like, hey, God, would you be gracious in your grace and giving me something I do not deserve? Would you listen? Would you hear my prayer? And I think when we approach God that way, his answer is always yes. Yes, I'll hear your prayer. Yes, I'm listening. Yes, I care deeply about you and what's going on with you. He goes on and then encourages and kind of speaks to the people who have done him wrong. He's like, hey, how long, exalted ones, right? Like the kings and the people of high position in society. He said, man, how long will you insult me as your king? How long will you continue to love what is worthless instead of give me the honor that God has put on me, right? Like that God has placed me and ordained me to be the king of his people, and yet you love what is worthless and you pursue a lie. And then he says, but know that the Lord has set apart the faithful for himself, and the Lord will hear when I call to him. He says, man, regardless of what you do, you need to understand that God is at work, that he set me apart. And you hear him go on to encourage of like not being angry, or being angry but not sinning, and being quiet in your anger instead of voicing it everywhere. I kind of think of sometimes we use Facebook or Instagram or social media as like our place where we post and we just like let it all out and all vent. I think David would say like, no, like filter what you're saying, filter what you're posting, what you're doing. Like consider, is it worth other people hearing? Is it beneficial in building up, or man, is it just anger that maybe you need to deal with between you and God and not air out? And then I really like the last part. He's saying, many are asking, who can show us anything good? You watch the news, you deal with life circumstances, you consider what's going on today and yesterday and the day before and tomorrow. And it's easy to ask that same thing. Who can show us anything good? And his prayer is the same prayer that I'm kind of adopting, that I hope you adopt, is, hey, let your face, the light of your face shine on us, Lord. Let the light of your face shine on us, Lord. Like, hey, God, let us see your glory and your power and your peace. And then he says, hey, you have put more joy in my heart than any other worldly thing could do. That when other people are abounding in riches and in success, I have more joy because of you and my eternity that is held in your hand than anything else. Meaning that his peace and his joy is not circumstantial, is not dependent on what everyone else is doing and everyone else is saying and everything else that's going on. He says, and then you see it in verse 8. He says, and so therefore I will lie down and I will sleep in peace. He says, for you, O Lord, make me live in safety. And my heart for you is that you would have that same attitude and be able to understand that. My heart for me and my children and my family, right, is the same thing, that we would come to a place where we could lie down in peace because our faith is in God who allows us to live in safety, that we realize these circumstances, these things cannot and will not deter God's plan for our life, but rather we have joy in him who is in control. I love you guys. Hope this was encouraging. Have a good day.